Yo, it's your boy ATC. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you fucking with my content. You feel me? And we got Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War, episode 9 review. Let's get started. Episode start off with Nanio coming to visit Shunsui, and he basically telling her that he's been appointed as head captain and tells her, you know, shit getting real, and bitch, we you know what I'm talking about? We might have to say goodbye. They flip over to Kira where Ichigo is, and Ichigo, you know, tripping and shit. He ready to get about this pool, soaking and shit. So Tenjiro come over there and give his ass a hit, make his ass fly back and shit. And then he realizes that, okay, Ichigo's been healed. All his spiritual pressure back and shit. It's all good now. Renji see this shit and he like, shit, nigga, he stand up. I'm done too. So he go over there and Tenjiro one punch his ass in the gut too to see if he can take the hit, to see if he been healed and shit, and with which he withstands the hit. So he basically let Ichigo and Renji know y'all gonna be sent off to the next place. While they getting ready and shit, Tenjiro's saying to himself like Renji and Ichigo exceeded his expectations, especially Ichigo, considering he fractured his wrist whenever he struck Ichigo and shit like that. Now, and he also says that he can see why the Soul King is taking so much interest in Ichigo, considering he's like special and shit. All right, flips over to the assembly hall where we see Shunsui speaking with the higher ups about what he wants to do. Basically, it's his first day on the job as the head captain, since they appointed him the head captain and shit. He want to appoint 2 lieutenants as his right-hand men. Third seat, Okikiba, and Lieutenant Ise as his right-hand assistants. They don't agree, but they still got to do what he says since he the captain, and basically they all agreed to make him the captain, so they still got to listen to shit. Shunsui ends up telling them that he wants to teach Kenpachi Zanjutsu. They all disagree, saying if he get too strong, they can't stop him. He might switch up and get the rampaging and shit, get the fucking shit up, and then they can't control this big ass Hulk. But then he let them know it is important to have him as an asset in the next invasion because there's no guarantee that Byakuya and the others will return safely from the Royal Palace. He also tells them that he wants Captain Unohana with the task of teaching Kenpachi. Considering she was the first Kenpachi, he want her to teach him Zanjutsu. So while he's discussing that with them, it flips back to Renji and Ichigo mid-fall, landing in the next place, which is Gatoden. Now that's the next place they was heading to, and we see Kon was hiding inside of Ichigo's shirt the whole fucking time. So after them niggas have this little goofy ass little scene and shit, then Kiryu, she come out. And she greet them and shit, let them know she got some food cooking up for their ass, motherfucking fried rice and chicken, steaks and shrimps and whole lots of grits and shit. And fucking, she got a whole buffet laid out for them. And then she explained to them that they're going to be regaining their energy as they eat the food and shit. And then she explains Gatoden is a place of food. Her job is to make sure that they eat, and like I said, and get full. And their job is to eat and get the munching down like they got the munchies and shit. In the middle of them eating and enjoying their meal, Renji has to tell a doubtful Ichigo that they not just wasting their time eating and living lavish while niggas is fucked up in the Soul Society, but they actually training. Even though they eating the food, they getting prepared for the training that they finna have to endure. That's finna come. Then Chef Kiryu, she pop out the front of back, explaining that the rituals are way different than the Soul Society and what they be doing. Basically being that this shit is done on the Soul King level, packed with the Soul King's power and millions of years history of the Soul Society. So even the food, even down to the food that they eating is some special ass shit like that. So in the middle of them, she explaining this shit, she coming in and out the room and shit. She popped back out this bitch with the yitties all out, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Looking like a whole different person and shit. Bitch looking like a dime piece. We wondering what the fuck did happen. Ichigo mouth wide, nigga. Renji mouth wide, nigga. Like how you go from 600-pound life to big old yitties aplenty. You feel me? And she tell them, basically, eat up. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to eat up. Y'all worried about what this figure looking like, but y'all got to figure out what's going to be on that plate to eat, nigga. Go and eat that food so that y'all don't die when y'all go to the next place. Then she get to explaining to him that she used up all her spiritual pressure when she was cooking, so that's how she loses a lot of weight and go from big to fucking small with them big melons on her ass and shit. And we find out that they call her the Grain King, Kiryu Hikifune. All right, then it says it flips over to a little bit. It says Ichigo and Renji, they basically being explained a few things. She explaining to him a few things before they leave. Each member of the Zero Squad has created something special to the game. and they being recognized by even the Soul King as history itself. She herself created a temporary soul and a technology to place it into a body. A Gikon didn't exist until she created a temp soul first, and a part of that concept was applied to creating soul candies. Ichigo and Renji, they just ate the food, and the food had a bunch of different kind of like special spiritual pressure inside of it. So basically them eating the food gave their ass like an extra little boost or some shit. In the middle of her telling them this, she warns them though that they need to proceed with caution to the next place, because the next member of the Zero Squad that they going to, this nigga very unpredictable. The next stop is Ho-Ho-Den, where Namaya resides, the man that created the Zanpakuto. All right, so we already see this motherfucker finna get their ass some work, nigga. He finna put their ass through some hellish training and shit. It flips over to Kenpachi, who is underground at the Great Prison on the lowest level, Mukin. Mukin is chosen by the head captain Shunsui because it cuts off from everybody else, and you know it's cut off and shit. It's at the very low bottom of the place, and Kenpachi can freely use his sword. You know what I'm saying? So we end up seeing who he's waiting there for. He waiting there for Captain Unohana. And both of them get to showing their scars off and shit, like, you know what I'm saying, bitch, you gave me this, nigga, you gave me this. And then we really get to see the fight, Unohana versus Kenpachi. You know what I'm saying? It gives us a little backstory of Unohana, a member of the original Gotai 13 Court Guard Squad before being appointed a member. She was the most notorious criminal in the history of the Soul Society. Given her experience with the blade and knowledge of the different techniques, she gave herself the name Yachiru 8000 Styles. So this bitch is cold. You feel me? This bitch knows some techniques, nigga. She's slicing and slaying niggas, nigga, with the blade. You feel me? She cold. It flips to the head captain Shunsui, who's reading this book as they having this little fight and shit, and they demonstrating Kenpachi versus Unohana as they doing this little shit. He's reading the book with the old text about her and shit in the book. Shunsui basically talking to himself, saying he's sorry he called it a Zanjutsu lesson, knowing that one of them is going to have to die during the battle, because they basically trying to bring the fucking beast mode out of Kenpachi, basically. So he already knowing one of them finna die during the battle. It flips back over to Unohana, and she's showing us why she's one of the original members, nigga. She fucking shit up, nigga. She quick, she fast, nigga. Kenpachi didn't, you know what I'm saying? He came with the motherfucking eye patch off, so he ready for war, nigga. Fucking, she eventually gets him at sword point, though. Where he has a recent flashback of their fight whenever he first met her, and when she get him at sword point like that, he get that flashback and shit. She then stabs his ass in the neck. He swore it was over, like she stabbed a nigga right in the neck, swore that shit was over, but come back to, and he ain't even stabbed at all. So it looked like to me, every time she hitting this nigga, it's doing something. He's not dying or no shit like that. So every time she hit this nigga, it's like some weird shit going on. But Unohana say to herself that Kenpachi will not die. You're on the verge of death. You just get stronger every single time. So every time this nigga get hurt, nigga, and feel some type of pain, this motherfucker gets strong than the motherfucker every single time. So, and basically she says that even though on the verge of death, he just gets stronger, and he put that flaw on himself, thinking that he might die and shit like that, but it's also her sin. And then it just basically ends the episode off. So this episode was fire as fuck. We got to see Captain Unohana versus motherfucking Kenpachi. And yeah, we get to see Ichigo and them and what Renji and them is doing. So pretty fire ass episode. If I had to rate it, I'd probably give it like an 8. Like I said, we ain't really got to the real good action yet. We're gonna probably get that in episode 10. So stay tuned. Everybody that watched this video, I appreciate you. You know what I'm talking about, for fucking with your boy. And as always, one love, 2 peace, and we out. Till next time. You dig?